The February 13 to 17, 2021 North American winter storm, unofficially referred to as Winter Storm Uri, was a major winter and ice storm that had widespread impacts across the United States, northern Mexico, and parts of Canada from February 13 to 17. The storm started out in the Pacific Northwest and quickly moved into the southern United States, before moving on to the Midwestern and northeastern United States a couple of days later. The storm resulted in over 170 million Americans being placed under various winter weather alerts, being issued by the National Weather Service in the United States across the country and caused blackouts for over 9.9 million people in the US and Mexico. Most notably the 2021 Texas power crisis. The blackouts were the largest in the US since the Northeast blackout of 2003. The storm also brought severe destructive weather to southeastern United States, including several tornadoes. On February 16, there were at least 20 direct fatalities and 13 indirect fatalities attributed to the storm. By February 21, the death toll had risen to at least 82, including 70 people in the United States and 12 people in Mexico. The damages from the blackouts are estimated to be at least $195 billion. Making the system the costliest natural disaster in the recorded history of Texas. On February 13, a frontal storm developed off the coast of the Pacific Northwest and moved ashore, before moving southeastward, with the storm becoming disorganized in the process. During this time, the storm reached a minimum pressure of 992 millibars over the Rocky Mountains. On the same day, the Weather Channel gave the storm the unofficial name Winter Storm Uri. Due to the expected impacts from the storm, the Federal Communications Commission later adopted the name in their reports after February 17. Over the next couple of days the storm began to develop as it entered the southern United States and moved into Texas. On February 15, the system developed a new surface low off the coast of the Florida Panhandle, as the storm turned northeastward and expanded in size. On February 16, the storm developed another low-pressure center to the north as the system grew more organized. While moving towards the northeast later that day, the storm broke in half, with the newer storm moving northward into Quebec, while the original system moved off the east coast of the U.S. by the time the winter storm excited the U.S. late on February 16. The combined snowfall from the multiple winter storms within the past month had left nearly 75% of the contiguous United States covered by snow. On February 17, the storm's secondary low dissipated as the system approached landfall on Newfoundland, intensifying in the process. At 12 o'clock Coordinated Universal Time that day, the storm's central pressure reached 985 millibars, as the center of the storm moved over Newfoundland. On the same day, the storm was given the name Bellring by the Free University of Berlin. The storm continued to strengthen as it moved across the North Atlantic, with the storm's central pressure dropping to 960 millibars by February 19. On February 20, the storm developed a second low-pressure area and gradually began to weaken as it moved northwestward towards Iceland. Afterward, the storm turned westward and moved across southern Greenland on February 22, weakening even further as it did so. The storm then stalled south of Greenland, while continuing to weaken, before dissipating on February 24. On February 14, the expected impacts from the storm resulted in over 170 million Americans being placed under various winter weather alerts across the United States. Over 120 million of those people were placed under winter storm warnings or ice storm warnings by the National Weather Service. The winter storm caused power grids to fail across the U.S., causing blackouts for over 5.2 million homes and businesses, the vast majority of which were in the state of Texas, which became one of the largest blackout events in modern U.S. history, the largest one since the Northeast blackout of 2003. The storm left at least 70 people dead across the United States, the vast majority of whom were in Texas. Insurers estimated the damages from the blackouts to be at least $195 billion, which exceeds the amount of damage that Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Ike collectively caused in Texas, making this storm the costliest natural disaster recorded in the history of Texas. The winter storm was the second of the two snowstorms that swept through the region within a 1-week period. 11.1 inches of snow in Seattle, Washington compounded the previous storm. This was the largest two-day snowfall recorded in Seattle since 1972. The Portland metro area was hit very hard by the storm, which brought a mix of snow and ice to the region. 9.4 inches of snow fell at Portland International Airport on February 12 to 13. The most snow to fall over this city in a two-day period since 1968. Over 270,000 people were left without power in